Hey everyone, I know it's been quite a while since I've posted a video about my personal journey with Crohn's disease, but it's been about 3 years since I've had surgery to my stomach, and I also just got a new camera, so I figured it was reasonable time to actually share an update about my personal journey. So, like I said, it's almost been exactly 3 years since I had surgery to my small intestines and my ileum, I believe it was, and I figured it was time to kind of share what's been going on. Where is my Crohn's disease? Like, is it in remission? Am I still having flares every once in a while? Like, what have I been up to in this time since actually having a pretty dramatic surgery? So, like I said, it's been almost exactly 3 years since I had surgery to my small intestine, removing about a 2-foot section. And in a too long didn't read kind of format, yes, I'm basically completely in remission. And since having switched from my Remicade to Humira, I thought I was going to be in remission. Then I had surgery, and now after having surgery and in conjunction with the Humira, and obviously some diet and maybe exercise and a bunch of other things, I've basically been in remission for 3 years. Now, that being said, the anxiety of having Crohn's disease, having this chronic illness that you never know if it's going to come back, has had a few moments where it's flared up, if you will. Not the disease, but the anxiety of that disease coming up. And I'll explain further. So a few times I've eaten dried fruits and nuts like almonds, cashews, dried cranberries, dried apricots, and I'll be honest, I'm not the best about drinking lots of water, either throughout the day or when I'm eating. And when you eat a few big handfuls of dried fruits and nuts, you end up kind of drying out your stomach. There's not enough natural fluids in there to get things moving south. And so what ended up happening was, I'm assuming, things got kind of blocked up. And so in that moment when you're feeling stomach discomfort and bloating and stuff like that, I ended up feeling actually concerned. I was like, is this the impending flare-up? Like, I knew what it was. Like, I knew it was, hey, I ate too much dried stuff. I didn't drink enough when I was eating it. So I ended up being concerned. Hey, am I causing a flare-up? Like the last time that I think I caused a flare-up by eating somewhat raw or somewhat bad meat that I'd left in my car, that was my lunch for the day, and then leading to needing to have surgery to remove a 2-foot section. Like, did that cause it? I might be doing the same thing now by eating too many dried fruits and nuts. And I don't think that's what's happening, because it's not like it's getting worse and worse since I've done that now twice. But in the moment, I was very concerned that, hey, I'm causing an issue. So I ended up drinking a bunch of water, so things have been fine in that regard. And like I said earlier, I attribute a lot of the progress I've made from going, about every 6 months to a year between mini flares that were pretty serious, but just throwing up, switching medicine, stuff like that, to now longer gaps and maybe long-term remission, is a combination of a few things. The biggest being surgery, removing the section of my small intestine that was inflamed, 2 feet of just sausage-looking intestine that really should just look like a dried-up rubber band, if you will, looking all like a sausage. Removing that and allowing food to pass, I think that might have been the section that was affected by my immune system, and so that might be the primary cause of this remission. Following in far second and then third is the fact I'm taking a biologic. I'm taking Humira, and I take it every 2 weeks. I've been very strict about that. I sometimes take it a day late because I forget about it. Like, as good as I can be, I still forget about it sometimes. And so I think that's the second. And then third is diet. I'm not eating a shitty diet. I eat pretty good foods from a day-to-day basis, and I'll cover that later. But yeah, so the combination of those three things are why I think I'm in a long-term remission, and fingers crossed, knock on wood, we're gonna be in that boat for a while. So like I said, I think diet did play a part in my remission. Although it wasn't first or second, I think it might have had a contributing role in going into remission. So a few things that I do that I'm very strict about are that I really restrict my dairy intake. I think I might be lactose intolerant, and I think that Crohn's disease and lactose intolerance may go hand in hand. So I try to avoid any kind of dairy, like milk, yogurt, ice cream, and just anything where it's like a lot of milk. Like I'll have cookies that might have a little bit of milk in the cooking process, but some of the sugars get broken down in the cooking process. So I think that removing the main, like cheese especially, no, absolutely no cheese, all that just helps me feel good about what I'm eating. After dairy is trying to minimize carbs. I eat a lot more meat and vegetables and a little bit of more complex carbs, but very little just raw sugary foods. Like I'm not eating a Pop-Tart for breakfast. I'm very strict about what I eat, and I'll go into that in another video where I'd like to cover kind of like day of eating or what I eat in a day, and I'll get to that. But so yeah, like I eat a lot of meat, red meat, chicken, fish, all of that, and then follow that up with salads and some potatoes and a little bit of pastas. But I get some flack for it, but I do eat a lot of meats and animal products in that way. So another thing that I pride myself is my exercise. And a year ago, I hurt my back, and I'll go into that again in another video. But I hurt my back, I herniated the disc, and it's kind of changed up what I do when I go to the gym. And I used to work out heavy weight, deadlifting, squatting, just heavy workouts, like a power lifter style workout. And that's kind of changed since the injury, and also since graduation. So now I have a full-time job, I work a side hustle, and in order to incorporate a healthy exercise routine, I ended up cutting back on the heavy lifting, incorporating more movements into what I do when I work out. I work lighter weight, more reps. I really do like the variety of movements I do. And then I cut out squatting mostly. On Instagram, I posted a few videos of me squatting, and but I haven't deadlifted really. I did one quick deadlift just to see if I still have it, but that really messed up the discomfort in my back was pretty bad in the following days. So it really isn't worth it. And same with squatting. It's like I can go squat and it's fine when I'm in the gym. It's fine in the next hour or two, but that night I suffer. The next day I suffer with discomfort. So it's just not worth it. But despite my work schedule, my main job plus my side hustle, I still end up going about 5 times a week, if not more. So I go Saturday and Sunday very consistently unless the gym is closed, and then I definitely hit it almost every Friday. So that's almost 3 days a week consistently, plus easily another 2 days throughout the week. So 5 days minimum throughout the week. And what's really funny is I'm actually really getting into running. I think it's because with my back discomfort, I'm liking the fact that just the movement back and forth is helping discs move around. It feels really good. Plus it's just, I'm bad at it, and it's something I can push through. Like I've never been good about studying, and that's not something I can push through for some reason. But with running, it's a hard thing that I'm not good at that I can push through. And I'd love to make a little like documentary kind of thing. Not making fun of documentaries, but talking about why I like running, and it's kind of because I hate it, because I'm bad at it. So I'd love to do that. So like I said, I got a new camera, the Sony a6300. I think it's going to be a good investment because it's really going to be the impetus for me to try to work on producing more videos. It's got a better autofocus, it's better low light. Spent a little time arranging lights and setting in my bedroom to actually film this video, but I think it's going to really hopefully inspire me, because I spent a bit of money on it, to actually produce more videos. And in the same way, the first camera I got back in the months leading up to the sophomore year of college was like, oh, this is a big chunk of cash to make me want to make videos. Now this is the same thing all over again, and also it's good for photos, so I'm going to try to be posting on Instagram, tag, yeah, and check out my photos. That would be cool. I'd like to work with you guys to come up with ideas for future videos that would allow me to take some of the pressure off of, is it worth the time to invest in making the video? So I think that I'm going to spitball some ideas. I'm going to share them with you guys. You guys can comment below of if these video ideas are good, maybe expound upon them, share what you think you might want to see. And so I'm going to read these off. So an in-depth look of the various diets that people claim to work. You've got your relatives, your grandma, your coworkers, everybody saying, oh, it's just do this to your diet and you're gonna have your Crohn's go away. So let's look at those and see, is there evidence to support that? Maybe I can find some research articles to back up the fact that X diet actually maybe works. Not for everybody, but maybe it'll work for a few people who might want to try something. Likewise, all those miracle cures that you hear in the news of this diet will, again diet, but this thing that's coming out, this new research proves that this will cure Crohn's disease. This pill will cure Crohn's disease. Do this trick and cure Crohn's disease. So I think that might be interesting, those miracle cures, if you will. Another topic I think that's important, it's more education for people who are just getting into having Crohn's disease, they just find out, is how to share the topic of having Crohn's with others. So like we've got our weird quirks and features of having Crohn's disease and what we do in our life, our diet, restroom habits, sick days, all of that. And so how to share that with your, obviously your close family, maybe your significant other knows, but extended family, your friends, your coworkers, maybe even your boss, how to share that with those people. And I've experienced sharing that with a bunch of different people, so maybe it might be helpful to have a video on that. And then finally, we get news articles that are valid about new drugs that come out. Is Humira, is Remicade, is drug XYZ that's coming out onto the market, is that actually evidence-based that it will help? I mean, obviously the FDA might have cleared it, whatever, but is there maybe drugs that are out there that we can take that might cure our Crohn's disease and recommend them to our doctor and say, hey, have you heard of this? Because a lot of times they haven't. They don't really have the time to do research, that they're every day taking care of patients, so they might not know everything that there is to know. So let's try to work together on that. And then obviously, I don't want Crohn's to control my life. I haven't ever let it do that. So I've got other interests. So obviously with my back issue, I've had to change my training up. So how I train with my herniated disc, my leg routines, how to train abs, that's pretty tough when you have a back injury. So etc. Any kind of workout you might be interested in. And then what I do for a living, that might be interesting for some people. I just got out of college a little over a year ago. How I found a job, the kind of steps that went into that. I think I did over 300 applications. Not because I wasn't a good candidate, but that's what the market's like nowadays. As well as just my main job is working at a hardware tech company, and then I have a side hustle of social media marketing, how those two play together, maybe one, maybe the other. People might be interested in that. So that's just my list of ideas of videos that I'd like to produce potentially. And I would really love it if you guys could comment down below and share what videos you would like to see. I don't want to create content for the sake of it, because I have all these ideas in my head, but I want to know what people need to know, or they want to know from somebody who has experience in a bunch of different things. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I've experienced things, and I think it might be helpful for me to share. So just comment down below any ideas for future videos, anything you'd like to see. I can answer them if they're really easy, just in the comments, or I can actually make a video about it, and that would be really cool. And if you like the video, consider giving the like button a little bit of love. And if you're interested in seeing any of my future videos, the ones that we described above, and maybe others that people suggest in the comments, think about subscribing. Might be able to see a new video next year. No, hopefully I'll be producing more content, so hitting that subscription button will let you know about any future videos that I publish. As always, it was great hanging out with you, and I'll catch you in the next one.